Hi, I don't know how you got here or where you're from, but I'm really glad you came. I'm Mindy Stern, and today I'm going to talk to you about commandment number 5 of successful self-employed superwomen. Establish clear and visual boundaries between where is home and where is the office, and when you're a businesswoman extraordinaire and when you're a supermom, and respect those boundaries. A lot of self-employed women work from their homes, which is great. I absolutely am for that. I love it. You should work from your home. It lowers your costs significantly. You don't have to rent space. You have less transportation costs because you don't have to travel to the office. You are already paying for utilities at home, so you only have to pay for the extra usage costs. You reduce food expenditure because you can eat in your kitchen instead of a kiosk or diner or restaurant. And the list goes on and on and on. One of the easiest ways to increase profit is to reduce expenses. And having a home office reduces a lot of expenses. As much as working at home has its benefits, it also has its challenges. Most of the challenges have to do with the fuzzy line between when you're being a happy homemaker or a loving mother and when you're being a businesswoman extraordinaire. Does your day look something like this? You get up in the morning and get the kids fed and ready for school. You look at your Facebook page and your email while you're at the kitchen table, drinking your coffee. Maybe you're still even in your PJs. You straighten up the house a little bit, start a load of laundry, and you start doing your work, still in your PJs. Maybe at some point in the morning you have a nice chat, or maybe not a nice chat with your mom. Then you continue to do some business calls, then you make an appointment for the doctor for one of your kids, and then you do a little more work. Time goes by, tick, 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 and it's time to make lunch. And then you fold some laundry. By the way, did you get dressed yet? Good question. And then maybe you go out for an errand or two, and then maybe you have some more time to work before you pick up the kids to eat lunch, and then you do homework, and then you have a play date. And then there's after-school activities for the kids that you have to drive them to. When your family's home, there is a totally different dynamic. You try to do what you need for them, and then you try to sneak in work here and there because the day is almost at the end and you still haven't gotten everything done. So you sit down to work, and after a few minutes, someone needs your attention. Mommy! And you're torn. You want to be there for your family, but you need to finish things for work. The pressure is on. Of course, you give whomever needs your attention what they need, and then you go back to work. And then a few minutes later, what happens? Someone needs your attention. And again, you're torn. And it goes like this throughout the afternoon and early evening. It is very frustrating. So then the time comes and you have dinner, bath, bedtime. And then maybe once the house is quiet, you do some more things around the house. You know, you're a mom, you have a home to keep. So you do some things around the house. And then if you have energy, after all that, you try to get some more work done. Can you relate to this? How effective have you been throughout the day? Let me know in the comments below. Up until now, I've spoken about how you divide up your day. What about how you divide up your space? Where do you keep the physical material and objects that you need to work with? On the dining room table? On the kitchen counter? On the sofa? In your bedroom? In your kid's bedroom? Do you find yourself piling your stuff and moving them around from place to place to get them out of the way? Do you find yourself spending a lot of time looking for things because you don't remember which pile they were shoved into or which corner of the room you hid them in? It's almost impossible to be productive when you have to set up shop each and every time you want to do your work. When you don't have your own space, you end up creating clutter, and clutter is the biggest block to productivity, both physically and mentally. Okay, now here's another idea in which another area in which you need to define clear boundaries, and that's with your finances. Are you managing your business's finances in your home bank account? Please let me know below in your comments. It's really important for me to be able to direct you. Well, besides the good feeling that you have about providing your products and services, your business's success is measured in terms of money and profit. If you're managing your business's finances in your family bank account, you lose clarity. What is your business's income? What are your business expenses? Is your business profitable? Do you have financial transparency? Can you see clearly at any given moment? Can you see what your financial situation is in your business? Do you even look at your bank account? And what about those who get cash payments? Do you get cash payments? What happens to the money? Do you use it to buy groceries or to give to the kids when they need a little extra money? Do you ask yourself at the end of the month where all the money disappeared to? If you said yes to even one of the above, then this Power Boost training is for you. Do you sometimes feel totally out of control, that your time is not your time, your space is not your space, and your money is not your money? Please share with me below in the comments, not just yes or no, but share your reality and your feelings. If you're watching or listening to a recording of this Power Boost training, pause it now and do this exercise. It will help you get clarity later on. Okay, so now let's go on to the techniques, beliefs, and behaviors you need to make a great situation for yourself, where you will have clear boundaries for your work and for your family and for your life, period, okay? So we're going to start with 3 techniques that you're going to use to establish boundaries that are comfortable for you and for your family. Okay, the first technique. Now, we spoke about this a lot already in Commandments number 3 and 4. So if you have not yet seen the Power Boost trainings on Commandments 3 and Commandments 4, which talk a lot about your time, please do so. It's really important. You can do it after this training, but it's really important information. But for now, the first technique that I want to talk about, and might review some things for those people who haven't yet seen the previous trainings. The first thing I want to talk about is to declare your office hours, okay? And we really did speak about this extensively, but I want to talk about it in a little bit of different terms, because now we're talking about declaring your office hours is actually you're setting up boundaries and borders. It is clear to you, it's clear to your family when you are working. It's something that's measurable. It's a time frame. There's no ambiguity here at all. And this helps you move forward. It helps you be able to separate your time and manage it well. And it also helps you to manage the expectation of those around you, be it your children, your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your friends. Okay, when you are defining office hours, what I mean by that in terms of what we're talking about today about boundaries is that during office hours, I'm going to say 95% of what you do, I could say 100, but I think that's not being realistic. But 95% of what you do during your office hours should be focused on your business, on your work, on your product, on your services. It should be focused on your development as a business, your marketing, your finances. It should be focused on your business. You should not be spending time during office hours doing things that are child related, family related, home related, fixing related, medical related, anything other than business. Now, when you define your hours of your business hours, your office hours, be true to them. So when you define them according to the time that you need to get everything in your work done. Okay, you might be very efficient and very effective, and throughout these trainings we're talking a lot about productivity and effectiveness and managing your time and managing your money so you can do it quicker and better and faster and easier. Okay, those are those things that I want for you, that I wish for you, that I'm trying to train you to do. So if you measure the time that you need to get things done, and it doesn't have to be more, just because out there in the employee world, people work from 9 to 5, doesn't mean that you have to work from 9 to 5. You need to work the amount of time that you need to work to get everything done. And you don't need to work more than that. You don't need busy work. You need to be very effective within your office hours. So within your office hours, work. Be focused on your work, your job, your business. and things related to that. Those are the phone calls you need to be making. Those are the emails you need to be reading. If you're in Facebook, you should only be looking at your fan page in order to support that, and you shouldn't be looking at what your friends are doing. You should be very narrow-minded, focused on your business within your office hours, okay? So clearly define them, and it sets up good expectations. Tell your mom, Mom, I'm working right now. I'll talk to you at whatever time you're not working, right? And you define that, but make it very clear. That's the first one, office hours. The second technique I want to talk about is set up in your home, if you are working from your home, set up permanent office space, okay? Permanent office space. It is not things that are being moved around. Permanent. It stays there. It's all the time. It's there, okay? So in your office space, you should have a place where you can work. You know, if you need a desk, you need a work table, a workstation, you need to have a filing system because a business has files, and you need to have storage space, okay? Whether it be for your product, for your services, for your inventory, you need to have those things, whatever you're doing, okay? Whether you're working from home or you're not working from home, these things need to be permanent for you to use, so you don't have to start looking for things all over the place. And more again, we're talking about boundaries. When you are in your physical space that you're going to call your office from now on, you are working. You're not playing, and you're not mom, and you're not your wife, and you're not a daughter and a sister, a sibling, and a friend. You are a super-powered entrepreneur, and you are working, okay, in your office space. In your office space, it needs to support you. You need to have everything there, accessible and neat in a way that you can get to it quickly, okay, because you want to be productive in your office space. It's really super important. Now, some people have the ability to have their office space separate from the living quarters of their family, which is great. It's wonderful. And again, it should be efficient and it should be pleasant for you to be in, okay? You're going to spend a lot of hours there, so please make it something that is pleasant and defined, okay? Some of you might not have the ability to have set up an office outside of your living area. You don't have a basement, or you don't have an extra or spare room, and you've got what you've got, and you have to make do with what you have. Please, even then, make clear office space. Put it in the corner of the kitchen, the corner of the living room. Make your dining room, instead of a full eat-in dining room, eat in the kitchen, even when you have guests, and make your dining room your office. A bedroom, take a bedroom. And it should be a bedroom that is accessible. I would not put your office in your bedroom. That I would not do, okay, under any circumstances, because your bedroom is for different things than what you would do at the office, and you need to have clear separation. Those are what I'm talking about. Boundaries, established boundaries, physical boundaries, virtual boundaries, visual boundaries. Okay, and your bedroom is not your office. You should not be working in your bedroom. You should be doing a lot of other things in your bedroom, but not work. Okay, but you could do it in the kids' room if you need to do that, to have space, because maybe your child is off to school most of the day, and you can get a lot of work done in there in a corner of your child's room, and it can be pleasant for you and pleasant for the child as well, as long as it is clearly defined. And the clutter happens when it's not clearly defined, because you have to make piles and move things around, so you don't know what you have, you don't know what you don't need, and you can't make organization, okay? So you need to have a space that you can call yours. Not only that you can call yours, but your family. When they see you in that space, they know you are working. You are not super mom right now. You are a super entrepreneur. And your kids, when they see you in that space, that's who you are. You fill up that space. You're a giant. And when your kids and your family and people come in and they see you in that space, they see the giant that you are, and they let you do what you need to do. Okay? So have that space wherever it is. And it could be that during non-office hours, you want to put like a screen or a curtain to cover it up so it's not in your face, so to speak. Or not. But it's much easier to manage it. It is permanent, clearly defined, and it's much easier also to hide it if you need to hide it. Okay, if it's permanent, then you can hide it in a pretty way, in an unobtrusive way, and no clutter. Okay, clutter is really not a good thing, and we can talk about that in another training later on. But you want it in your space, in your permanent space. Avoid clutter and have things there that you need to support the work that you are doing. Okay. I think also if you are receiving clients in your office, in your home, it needs to be presentable, and it does not need to be in the middle of your home, in the middle of your family, so to speak. It could be that during the hours that nobody is home, your family is not home, you can use your living room, dining room, but keep it professional. Okay. It is an office during office hours. It is not a home. It is an office during office hours. Okay, so if you're gonna receive clients or customers in your home environment, in your office, in your home, make sure it's professional and presentable, and it gives the feeling out to your customers that you want them to have. I mean, I was once working with a woman who was she did manicure and pedicure. And I went to see her home, and her manicure and pedicure was in the corner of her living room, and her daughter was watching TV while she was sitting with a client, and she had laundry piled up over on the side, and she had a client at the same time, and she was receiving me. I'm a supplier. I'm giving her service. She was receiving me in this home, and it wasn't professional. It wasn't professional. Maybe she gave a good manicure and pedicure, but you want your clients to see you as giving them 100%, being in an environment that's nice, that's aesthetic, that's that is welcoming, and to sit there and to spend your time and your money. Okay, not a mishmash. Clear, defined, supporting your business, visually pleasant for you, pleasant for your family, pleasant for those who come to see you. Okay, super duper important to have your own office space. By the way, even if you don't have your office at home, you have it in a separate location, it's professional, okay? It needs to be a professional, supportive environment. And if you need someone to help you to do that, to create that environment that supports you in a nice, pleasant way, then get someone to help you. Okay, now the third technique is kind of like really weird. I'm coming here out of left field for those people who know baseball. I want to suggest to you to open up a separate bank account. Now, we spoke about this already. We spoke about it actually in commandment number 2. We spoke about your business should feed your family, not the other way around. And one of the techniques was to open up a separate bank account. So here again, we were talking about that separate bank account, which is super important. But I'm going to talk about it in a different kind of way. I want to talk about it as far as boundaries and borders and definition for your business, because that's what we're doing here. We are defining your business. So we defined it by your office hours. We defined it by your physical office, where it is, what it looks like, how it feels, how people see you in it. And now we're going to define it by your bank account, okay? A business, like I said before, besides being, you know, a passion that you have, that you want to give your product or services to the world, which is wonderful, and you get a lot of fulfillment, I hope, out of that, which is great. But you can volunteer and do that, okay? You don't need to create a business to get that kind of the sense of giving, okay? A sense of passion and fulfillment. You don't need a business for that. You have a business, or what makes a business is actually the money side of it. The business gives service product for money, receives money, pays expenses, and then at the end of the day, we hope we have profit. I mean, that is the essence of a business. A business exists for profit, for money, for profit. However, we have the privilege, you and I, we have the privilege of running a business, having a business that we could get a lot of self-satisfaction, fulfillment, and personal development out of it. That's a privilege, okay? But it's not the definition of a business. So here, when you are defining your business, you want it to be a business. You need to have a bank account for your business. That is the number one defining factor of a business, is having a bank account. Give respect to the money that you collect and to the money that you pay your suppliers. Respect it. Give it a home. Give it a place where it can exist, where it can thrive, where it can grow. If it's sitting of your money or all your business transactions, your income and your expenses are pushed into your family account, then you have not a business, you have a hobby. You have a hobby that collects money and pays a little bit around here. You don't have a business. There's no definition there. You can't see what your business is doing. You don't know if you need to bring in more income this month or not. You'll be totally in a struggling mode, financially struggling mode, if you don't have clear definition for your business. And that makes you a businesswoman. You know, once you have a bank account for your business, you turn into a businesswoman, and your surroundings, your people, your family, your friends, your children, your spouse, your significant other will see you as a business person. You have defined it. You have, like I told you in your office, they'll see you so big. Also with your bank account, you become big. You become big and bold and brave and empowered once you have defined a bank account, once you created a bank account for your business. And then when you look at the bank account, you can actually see what it's doing. Look at all that money coming in, and look at all those wonderful suppliers who you are paying. And you should be paying them with love and appreciation because they are helping you create your business and give your services and products to the world, your gifts to the world, you know. And you can see that all very clearly in the bank account, okay? And you can see if you are profitable or not. You can't see that if you've got money coming in from different places in a home account and you have expenses, you know, your business expenses are along with your mortgage and your electricity. You can't really know what your bottom line is. And you need to know what your bottom line is, because your bottom line is what will support you to give more, first to yourself, and then give more to your customers, clients, and patients. Money will help you expand your business and be able to give to more people. And that's what makes it go round and round, your money. So define it, set up a bank account that's separate, and then you have a business. And then you become an entrepreneur because you've given a definition. It's no longer a hobby. It's no longer an idea. It's no longer a project, which all those things are good things, right? But they are not so empowering. A business is empowering. You can run a business. Okay, so those are 3 techniques I spoke about. I want to talk about beliefs, and I'm gonna switch around which one I was going to talk about first. I was going to talk about something else first, but I'm going to talk about this because this is directly in regard to what we were just talking about. Beliefs. 3 unsupported beliefs that prevent you from being 100% super successful entrepreneur and 100% mother, spouse, sister, brother, whomever you are when you're not at work, okay? So the first belief I want to talk about, I think is very significant here, and it goes really right in line with what I was just talking about, the belief that I don't know how to run a business. This is a belief that will not support you. If you don't believe that you don't know how to run a business, then you can't run a business. It's a limiting belief, and I want to help you get rid of that limiting belief. If you have a product or service that you are selling to somebody, and the somebody on the other end, on the receiving end of your product or service is paying you for that product or service, then you have a business. You have a business, and you are running your business by virtue of that you have clients, and you're getting more clients, and you're giving them service. That means that you have a business. So you know how to run a business. And you want to know how else I know that you know how to run a business? Because you're here. You're here listening to get tips and learn how to run your business better, be more effective, to be a good businesswoman, a super successful self-employed entrepreneur, and a super mom at the same time. You are learning. You are here. Okay, that's why I know that you know how to run a business. And if you use the techniques and the behaviors that I'm explaining to you one by one, each one of these power trainings has 3 techniques, 3 beliefs, and 3 behaviors that you can adopt to make your life easier and make your business more successful. Okay? so you can be a successful, self-employed superwoman. I'm giving you the best of the best that I can possibly give you so you can do that. So you can run your business. So you can change that belief, I don't know how to run a business, to I learn every day more techniques on how to run my business. How about that? How else can you change this belief? I don't know to run a business. You can change it to how about I run my business efficiently. I run my business efficiently. How about that? That's a good belief. Now take the time also here now. We're talking about changing over these beliefs. Now remember, when you change a belief, you can't say, I don't believe and now I do believe. You have to change the continuum to jump to another place. So let's say if you can pause here, the recording. If you're listening to a recording, you can pause here and write down in the comments what new beliefs you can adopt that are true or as true or truer than the belief I don't know how to run a business. What can you adopt that will support you, that you can use as an affirmation day by day to have you run your business better? Okay, I suggested two. One is I learn every day how to run my business better, or I run my business efficiently. They are great beliefs to have, and they're very, very supportive. Okay, and this way, when you work on this belief, when you work on this limiting belief, and you find new affirmations that support you, then you don't have a problem defining things that define your business. You don't mind having borders and boundaries on when you are in business and when you are not, because you know how to run a business. You don't have to be afraid of that. You know that when you're going to be in business mode, the whole world is looking at you like the big giant that you are. Okay, the big, powerful, empowered woman, assertive, that can get things done. And that's who you are in business mode. Once you change the belief that you don't know how to run a business, so become empowered, change this belief, okay? And another belief that I think that most people think are really good beliefs, but I find them in the business world limiting. Okay, they don't do justice for you at all. And those beliefs are the belief that you can multitask and have flexible hours. Now, what do I mean by that? Multitask, I think it's obvious. You know, you do a lot of things at the same time. And women are very talented at multitasking. Women can do it, and they are capable of multitasking, of doing 3 different things at the same time. Men are less capable of doing it. But I want to suggest something just after. And I want to tell you also about the flexible hours. You know, you opened up a business probably so you could spend more time at home. Okay, which is great. However, a business demands to have you support it. You know, you have to spend time in your business to make it work and make it grow. So the idea of flexible hours is wonderful, okay? Is wonderful. But flexible hours does not mean that every day looks different. It just means that you can choose when you are in business mode and when you are in home mode. That's what flexible hours should mean. However, you might believe that flexible hours means that every day can look different, and you can be very spontaneous in how you divide up your day and what you're going to do. And something comes up that you can come and go. Okay? If something comes up and you want to do it, be spontaneous, the only way you can do it is if your day is organized, that you know clearly what your office hours are. Now you can break up your office hours into bunches. You can say, okay, I'm going to work from 5 in the morning till 8, and then I'm going to work again from 10 to 2, and then I'm going to work again from 9 to 11 in the evening. That's flexible hours, okay? That is the kind of flexible hours you want to have. But it looks the same every day, or 3 times a week, or 4 times a week, however much you choose to work. It does not fluctuate. Flexible hours does not mean that you fluctuate. And the idea of multitasking, you think multitasking is good. Multitasking is not good. That women can do it is great. You know, we're super talented that we can do it, but it doesn't help you. Multitasking doesn't help you. When you do something anything you're going to do in your entire life, do it, be 100% present in what you're doing. Be 100% present. Do not multitask. So that means that when you are doing the dishes, you are doing the dishes. 100% of you. You are doing the dishes. You are thinking about the dishes. You're looking at the soap. You're feeling the soap. You're feeling the dishes. You are totally present. And when your child comes up to you and says, Mommy, I want you to do something with me for the television or the computer or my game or my room or whatever the child's going to ask for, what you need to do is you say, just 1 second, let me finish the dishes because I am right now in dish mode. You know, I'm giving 100%, and then I'll be with you. Okay, not multitasking. You know, you're cooking, cook, and you don't need to cook all the courses at one time. You know, you cook the meat, and then you make the vegetables, and then you might make the salad last, or the dessert someplace in between. But do it, because if you're doing 3 different courses at the same time, something might get burnt. You know, or you might mess up with the ingredients, put salt instead of sugar. Okay, from experience, I tell you this. Okay, so be 100% focused on what you're doing, and at work as well, and with your kids as well. So when you are playing with your children, okay, or you are spending an evening with them, you're having dinner or breakfast or whatever it is that you are dedicating time to them, be 100% present in that. Okay, you are not answering emails or telephone calls or are fixing something in your office or filing. You're not doing that. No, you're not. You are 100% with your children. And when you're at work, you are 100% at work. 100%. Okay, that way you need to be focused. So multitasking, people believe that multitasking is good. Multitasking is not good. It takes you out of focus. When it takes you out of focus, it takes you longer to produce whatever it is that you're producing, and it doesn't come out as good as when you focus 100% on what you're doing. So focus on it. Even when you're at work, don't do 5 things at one time. And I talked about it a little bit also when we talked about arranging your schedule in Commandments number 3 and 4. Talked a lot about time management. And one of the things that I recommended you to do there was, I lost my train of thought. Oof. Yes, with telephone calls. A lot of times people call you up in the middle of your day while you're working on something that's important and you need concentration. So you stop what you're doing, you take the phone call, whether it's important or not important, and if it's important, you're not prepared for it because, you know, you're working on something else, your mind is in what you were doing up until then. And then you take the phone call, so you're not doing justice to your work, which you're being interrupted, and you're not doing justice to the person on the other line on the phone because you're not prepared for the call. So when you're doing something you need to concentrate on it, finish it, and then listen to the messages that you got, and then call the people back at your time. Okay, remember, you're the boss. You can call people back at your time. And this way you have time to prepare. See who called you, what the issues can be. Prepare yourself if you need to prepare yourself for that call. And do it at your time. Create a lot of energy. You know, lift up your energy because you're going to be presenting outside of yourself. So you need to have good energy because high energy always wins. Okay, so be really, no multitasking. Do not believe that multitasking is a good thing. Multitasking is not a good thing for productivity. Okay, it's a good thing for mothers who have a lot of children who need to get done, and house cleaning and children. But even then, you're not really paying attention to your children because you're also doing the house cleaning. You're not really paying attention to the house cleaning because you're taking care of your children. I mean, there are things that you can mix up and mash. Like, for example, you want to spend time with your kids and you need to fold the laundry, so you can, together with your children, fold the laundry. But don't play a board game with your kids while you're folding the laundry because you're not present here and you're not present there. Okay, so be present in what you're doing. Do not multitask. Now, the other belief that I have, and I heard myself saying it while I was talking before on the techniques. One of the techniques I mentioned could be, you know, you have to have your own office space, your own place that's yours, it's your office, okay? And one of the things I suggested that might have to happen is that you set up your office in one of your kids' rooms if you don't have extra room in your house. Okay, so what comes to mind? What stories do you start telling yourself when you hear something dramatic like that, like setting up your office in your child's room, in your child's space? So a belief could be, I can't take up my family space. So you can take care of family, you can replace it with kids space, right? Because kids are the most important thing. I can't do that. It's not nice. It's not fair. What will they think? How would they feel? There's a lot of self-talk going on behind that kind of concept. So I want to say, when you are running your business from your home, you are not taking up anybody's space. What you're doing is you're creating space for your business, but your business supports you and supports your family. Okay, even economically, it supports your family. There needs to be place for that. Because you're not taking up space in the kids' room. You're not taking up the living. What it needs to be done in order to do that, well, I mean, I believe I can't take up space, my family's space. You can say something that I'm dividing up my house in a way that supports all the needs of me and my family. Wow, what a belief that is. That's a new, really powerful belief. Okay, you can say that. You should do it while talking. You know, if you have to set up, I think it's extreme also, but if you have to set up your office in your child's room, sharing a room with your child, with your office, explain, talk about it, do it together with the child, ask the child which corner would be better, work with the child to redecorate the room so that the child feels good and that you feel good. Make rules. You know, maybe you want to have a rule that when the child is home, it's his room 100% and not an office, and that you need to ask permission if you need to get something out of the office. Make up rules, you know, expectations between the two of you. You don't infringe on his place. You create a space that is supportive to both of you. Okay, there's a lot of times in a lot of families, children need to share bedrooms. You know, it's taken for granted until the day that, you know, they had their own room and you have to put them together because another child is born, and then you have a discussion about it. And that's what the family needs. And and everyone says, okay, so you and your needs also, your business is also like having another child. It's like a baby. So you can explain, just as if we were going to have another child and you'd have to share a room with your sibling. Now we have another child. We have this new business that we're all developing it together. So let's see how we can do that to make it work. And if you're doing it, if you're having your office in your dining room, explain, have the family help support you and do it together in a way that's good for them and good for you. You're not taking up anybody's space. You know, if I had to start working on belief systems here, I would say that someone that would say, I can't take up my family's space, they don't really see their own value. You know, they might have a little bit of a low self-esteem of themselves. Where is their presence? You know, are they always giving up so other people can be seen and do and heard, and not being seen and done and doing and being heard themselves, yourself? Okay, so if that's an issue for you, where are you present and where are you giving up your presence? Where do you have a voice and where are you giving up your voice? Those are the things that I would start to talk on, because you are part of the family. Your needs are just as important as everybody else's. And if you do it together, everybody can be happy with it. A matter of fact, everyone can feel that they are contributing. They are partners. Oh, this is wonderful. They are partners in your business. And that's the way it should be. I mean, we have a commandment that's coming up. The next few commandments is that you should share with your family. Have your family be participants in what you're doing. And it is super duper important. Okay, so also here, you're not infringing on anybody's space by setting up a permanent office space for yourself anywhere in your home, except not in your bedroom, okay? That's a no-no, don't do that. Even if you're a single mom and you don't have a spouse or a boyfriend and no one's using that space with you in your bedroom, don't put your office in your bedroom. Okay, we can talk about that more. If you have a different idea, you can put it down in the comments below and we can discuss it more. I think it's super duper important not to do that. Okay, so we spoke about 3 techniques and we spoke about 3 beliefs, and now I want to talk about 3 behaviors that you need to adopt in order to be able to clearly define when you are a businesswoman extraordinaire and when you are a super mom or super family woman, and respect all those boundaries, okay? So 3 behaviors. The first one I want to talk about is, here also I'm going to change the order a little bit, mix it up, okay? The first one is this. I think it's really close to what we're talking about now. Teach your family how to manage when you're at work, okay? Now you're working from the home or from the office, but in your home office, teach your family how to manage when you are at work. Your job is to teach them, okay? And teaching is a constant thing. It's a process. You never stop learning and you never stop teaching. Teach, be supportive. Teach from a place of empathy and love, because now, if until now it was, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call it chaos, yeah? Now it can be, you teach them how to make it organized, how it's going to be, what the new rules of engagement are, how it's going to be from now on. You teach them, and you teach them from a place of love and empathy. Where does that come, love and empathy? Empathy is, it's something new. People resist change, whatever form it takes. So teach them in a way that's good for you. Find new rules, new ways to do it, new communications, new sharing in this, in a way that you understand that they have to change also what they're doing, their routine, their behavior, their expectations, and you are empathetic, okay? And you love them. You want it to be good for them and good for everyone else, but that does not mean that you have to give up on the structure that you're now putting into your working environment. Don't give up, but teach them how to do it. Teach them how to take care of themselves during the time when you're in office hours. Teach them how to act and react, okay? It's a dialogue. Things come up. When I first started working from home and there was a telephone call on the house line, you know, my kids would answer and then they'd come into my office in the middle of my working day and say, Mommy, there's a phone call. So what I taught them to do is to take a message. It's important. Unless someone says it's so important, it's urgent, then I would take the phone call, of course. But 99% of the times it's not urgent, and they know because I taught them. And I taught them in a way that was empathetic. I didn't yell at them and say, why are you bothering me? So, oh, thank you, I understand. Please take a message and let them know I'll get back to them later. Okay? And this happens once, twice. The third time, they don't ask anymore. They immediately take a message, and then they give me the message written down so that I can call back when it's convenient for me. Okay? So you teach them that when you are sitting behind your desk or that you're working on manufacturing, whatever it is you manufacture, your product, that people see you, your family, your environment, they see you there. You teach them that you are at work now, and you can have a discussion about that. So your child will come in and say, oh, Mommy, did you do my laundry? And you look at them with a smile, with love in your heart and in your mind. So let's talk about it later. I'm at work now. Okay. Or you can say, is it urgent? Then the child will say, no, it's not urgent. Okay, let's take care of it when I'm finished at work at 4 o'clock. Okay, that's with empathy and with loving, but you have stayed true to the boundaries that you have created. So then they know after a while that when you are sitting at your office, it's not a time to disturb you unless it's urgent. Okay? But be true to it. If they disturb you and it's not urgent, and then you take the time off, address them, you're not servicing them and you're not servicing yourself. Okay? There's no learning involved in that. For you, you're not learning a new behavior, and they're not learning a new behavior either. Okay? So think of it as teaching your environment how to manage, how they can manage themselves, their time, when you are at work, what the new rules are. Okay? Next. What are you thinking about this? Is this good stuff? Are you learning something? Write it down if you are, or raise your hand. Okay? I hope you are learning something. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and I talked about it a little bit, I started to slide into it when I spoke about the techniques, was here. Stay super focused on your work when your family is out of the house or sleeping. okay? It basically depends on how much alone time you have at home, okay? And you should be super duper effective and productive, and most of your office hours, most of your office hours should be at the hours that you have no family disruptions, okay? That your family is actually busy someplace else, which is the best, then you can get the most done. But what this means is when they are out of the house, out of the home, and you've defined these as office hours, that means that during that time you should be focused on your work. Okay, so when I talked a little bit earlier about what your routine might look like, and your routine might look like, it might look like you, what did I say, having coffee and then doing a little bit of chores around the house, and then working a little bit, and then making lunch, and then working a little bit, or then going on errands and picking up your kids and working a little bit. Okay, that's not how it should look. How it should look like. It should look like you being at work, 100% focused on work while you're at work. Okay, don't use the time when no one's home to do chores around the house. It's a waste of precious time, because when the family comes back to the house, it is difficult to stay focused on your work, especially if you don't have your own space. And even if you have your own space, I mean, you're self-employed, so you can be there for your family. So you want to have hours that you're with your family, and you want to do that happily and pleasantly in a nice environment. So like when you're struggling at the end of the day, in between this and that, to get more things done because you were not that efficient in the morning or that productive in the morning, that causes stress, and it's unnecessary stress in your home. So if your kids are out of the house, 5 days a week, from 8 or 9 to 3 or 4 or 5, or even if it's only to 1, doesn't matter. Whatever that time is, that time should be dedicated 100% to work, and not doing laundry, and not doing chores around the house, and not doing errands unless they're errands for work, and not even making lunch. Okay, should not be on the time that you are supposed to be dedicated to work. Okay, if you free up those hours, you can be super productive and super efficient during those hours. That may be when your family comes home from their busy days out, that you can actually free up all of your time, and you won't have to work in the afternoon, evening, and after everyone goes to sleep. It could be like that because you're so productive during the time that you have available to yourself while everyone is away. Okay, so really be super productive. What you can do also about being super productive is, I mentioned here that when your family is out of the house or sleeping, okay, don't discount the hours that people are sleeping around your house if you personally have the ability to wake up. There are a lot of people that I work with, very, very successful people that I work with, that they wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and their best, most productive and creative hours are 5 in the morning till 7, when they start getting the family all ready. Not only that, sometimes they wake up early in the morning and they use that time as well to do meditation or some yoga and do some work before the family starts waking up. Okay, so if you personally have the ability to do that, or you all have the ability to do that. It's a belief, yeah. The belief that I can't wake up early, or I'll be exhausted all day if I wake up too early. Those are beliefs that prevent you from doing that. But if you can open up your mind to the concept of utilizing the hours when people are asleep in your home, that doesn't mean on account of your sleeping. I mean, you need to sleep enough where you have enough energy to be positive and giving and efficient during the day. You need to have the sleep that you need to have. But you might be able to go to sleep a little bit earlier, because you might be able to go to sleep a little bit earlier instead of working late at night. Wake up early in the morning. You might even be a lot more effective and efficient and productive, and you have some me time. With not a lot of us have me time, and it could be very worthwhile for you. Okay, so this way it'll free you up more in the afternoons and evenings when your family is home, to be more with them, more with their family. Okay, and the last behavior that I want to talk about is also, it might seem to you that it's a little bit not connected, but it's connected. Again, I'm going to go back to the money issue, and I want you to look at your business account, your bank account, once a day. Okay, I want you to become connected to your business as a business, and that's looking at the money, seeing what's been done and what needs to be done. It'll help you start planning and focusing on your business and thinking of your business as a business and seeing it. The money transaction is the flow of the energy in your business. It's so important. It's not just your product and your services and marketing. The finance is very, very important, and it defines your business. Okay, so when you want to have a business and you're defining it and you want to think as a business person during the hours that you are working, and as a family person, the hours that you're not, and make more hours that you don't have to work because you were efficient, you've done everything already that you can be with your family. In order to do that, you need to see your business as a business. And in order to see your business as a business, you have to look at the numbers. You have to connect with the numbers. You have to see the home, the financial home of your business in front of your eyes and connect with that. It'll change the total dynamic from the hobby, the self-employed, the project type of person that maybe you were until now, to someone who owns a business and has a responsibility to that business, as well as she has a responsibility to her home. So that is actually the third behavior. It's a behavior because you're doing it every day, and then it becomes a habit. Oh, I had a really great quote from Aristotle about becoming a habit. But I will write that down in one of my posts, let you know. Okay, so this has been our Power Boost on the fifth commandment. And the fifth commandment is, establish clear and visual boundaries between where is home and where is the office, when you are a businesswoman extraordinaire and when you are a supermom, and respect those boundaries. I hope that you learned a lot. It was a pleasure for me to serve you. I'm happy to be here. And I'm going to sign off now. I'm Mindy Stern, and I'm dedicated to your personal, business, and financial empowerment. Please be in touch. Take care.